once asked me, what's the best movie ever made? And I give it a quick few minutes to think about the options that were before me. Star Wars, Titanic, Indiana Jones, Pulp Fiction. Well, it's none of those. The Lorax is the greatest film of all time, and I promise you'll be saying the same thing in 4 minutes. Just give me 4 minutes. It's all I really need, 4 minutes. Everyone knows you need a cast to be a good piece of cinematography, and The Lorax is no exception. We have Zac Efron, T Swizzle, motherfucking Betty White, and the Big Daddy himself, Danny DeVito.
Suicide is badass.
And we have Chris Renaud. The Lorax in question is orange, and it's not by coincidence. Pulling this up on the interwebs, we see orange means joy, warmth, sexuality. But we can also see this as a clear reference to Agent Orange. Now, you're probably asking, what's Agent Orange?
What do you get when you mix 2,4,5-T acid and 2,4-D acid? You get a powerful herbicide that the United States military used during the Vietnam War, and one that's been tied to serious health problems for the people exposed to it. The answer is Agent Orange.
Now, I know the film starts in the present day, but let's look at the Lorax, okay? Let's go back in time to see what this is all about. Okay, they don't call this movie The Ted. This is the Lorax. The motherfucking Lorax. Now, on the surface, the plot is pretty immaculate, but it's the comparisons that are made between the relations of the United States of America and Vietnam in 1972. Now, why 1972? Because that's when the OG film was made, and that's when the Environmental Modification Convention to limit Agent Orange was held. Okay, so we have the Onceler. Now, he's green, which means safety, ambition, capitalism. Green is also a reference to the olive drab green GI uniform during the Vietnam conflict. We also see him with a guitar throughout the movie, which is a clear nod to 1960s rock music and Jimi Hendrix. The Lorax speaks for the trees. You know who else speaks for the trees?
They're in the trees!
The Lorax represents Russia and China, who were giving aid to the NVA, while the cute little animals we see throughout the film are the Viet Cong, who call the trees their home. The Americans started using defoliants such as Agent Orange and napalm to rid the jungle of the enemy in their natural habitat. There were hearings in 1972 to ban these chemicals. Amongst the outspoken were Russia and China. We can clearly see this is a message from Dr. Seuss himself to stop the U.S. from using chemical warfare. The Onceler is clearly American. Now, Chris Renaud is the voice of Assorted. Now, if we spell it backwards, we get... Hold on. Which means nothing. But if you Google Assorted, you'll find Assorted Jolly Ranchers. Ranchers as in Operation Ranch Hand. You will also find Assorted Jelly Beans. Jelly as in jungle jelly or napalm.
Children sucking on a mother's tit, goofs down in a 50 pit. Dow Chemical doesn't give a shit. Napalm sticks to kids.
The Lorax is a beautiful piece of propaganda. It has everything that it needs. A dumbass love story that has little to no effect on the plot. An underdeveloped villain that you could care less about. The United States. Some fucking rice farmer. Just give me a second. You know what put the icing on the cake? Some dope-ass music. There are lots of bangers in this film. In fact, the only reason T Swizzle is even in this film is so she can learn how to make a top 10 hit in the time it takes me to grope a pineapple. You can literally take How Bad Can I Be, put it in any fucking language, and it would still be a banger.
How bad can I be? I'm just doing what comes naturally. Fast du jaska skamen mig. Slint drar en escapensvej. Hvorfor du jaska skamen mig? Ali og se mig se en energi. Kom ani ma pri.
Już nie boisze, no siłki nie boisze, pa je. Salogajcie. Ha 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 ha.
So, is this a good flick? Yes, it is. Now, is it the best film of all time?
Actually, Frenchie, Star Wars is the best film.
You bet your fucking ass it is. So, the final verdict.
This
He's my bro. This is his party.
Alright, that's it for this episode. Next time I'm gonna do, I don't know, probably Top Gun.
And I'll be there too.